Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to the channel. So I just sat down with my deck because I felt this really strong pull to connect with your energy for this weekend. And honestly, what came through was not what I expected at all, but in the best way possible. Like, the cards are showing me something really profound about closure and liberation that you might not even realize is coming your way right now. Before we dive in, if this reading resonates with you, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I always love hearing how these messages land for different people. And if you are new here, welcome. I do these readings from a place of genuine connection with the cards, and I really hope this brings you some clarity or confirmation about what you are moving through right now. Okay, so Sagittarius, let me tell you what I'm seeing here. This weekend is bringing you a very specific kind of energy. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, but it is deeply significant. We are talking about the kind of closure that sneaks up on you, the kind you did not even know you were waiting for. And what follows that closure is something you've been craving for a long time, which is true freedom. Not the surface level freedom you already embody as a fire sign, but the deep, soulful liberation that comes when you finally release something that has been weighing on your subconscious. I pulled 6 cards for you today, and each one is telling a part of this story. So let me walk you through what came up. Because honestly, Sagittarius, this is really beautiful. The first card I pulled for you is the Ace of Swords. And I have to tell you, when this card showed up in the first position, I immediately felt this sense of mental breakthrough. The Ace of Swords is all about clarity, truth, and cutting through the fog. This is the card of that moment when everything suddenly makes sense. When the confusion lifts and you can finally see the situation for what it really is. For you this week and Sagittarius, this card is telling me that you are about to experience a major moment of clarity around something that has been clouding your judgment or keeping you stuck in a loop of overthinking. You know how sometimes you can sense that something is off, but you cannot quite put your finger on what it is. Or you have been trying to make sense of a situation or a person or a decision, and it just keeps feeling muddy and unclear. This Ace of Swords is saying that this weekend, the truth is going to cut through all of that confusion like a knife through butter. What I find really interesting about this card appearing first is that it is setting the tone for everything else that follows. This is not about someone else giving you answers or external validation. This is about your inner knowing finally breaking through to the surface. The Ace of Swords represents your own mental power, your ability to discern truth from illusion, and your capacity to make decisions from a place of crystal clear awareness. I am getting the sense that this clarity might come in an unexpected way. It could be through a conversation that suddenly makes everything click into place. It could be through a moment of stillness where you finally hear your own inner voice above all the noise. It could even be through something you read or hear that acts as a mirror, reflecting back to you what you have known deep down all along, but have not been ready to acknowledge. The sword in this card points upward, piercing through clouds, and that imagery is so perfect for what you are experiencing. There have been clouds around a certain situation in your life, Sagittarius. Maybe you have been clouded by hope, by fear, by what you wish were true, or by what other people have told you. But this weekend, those clouds are parting. You are going to see the reality of the situation with such startling clarity that it might actually take your breath away for a moment. And here is the thing about the Ace of Swords energy. It can feel sharp. It can feel a little uncomfortable at first because truth often does. When we have been living in the fog, stepping into clarity can feel harsh and bright, like walking out of a dark room into sunlight. Your eyes need a moment to adjust. But once they do, oh Sagittarius, once they do, you are going to feel so much lighter. Because living in confusion and uncertainty is exhausting. It drains your energy in ways you do not even realize until the clarity finally comes. This card is also telling me that you have the mental strength to handle whatever truth emerges this weekend. The Ace of Swords does not show up for people who are fragile or unprepared. It shows up when you are ready to see things as they truly are and to make empowered decisions based on that truth. So if you have been worried that you cannot handle knowing something or facing something, the cards are saying otherwise. You are stronger and more capable than you realize. And this clarity is actually a gift that is going to set you free. I also want to mention that the Ace of Swords is connected to the element of air. And air is all about communication, thoughts, and perspective. So this clarity might also involve finally being able to articulate something that has been stuck in your throat. You might find yourself having a conversation this weekend where you speak your truth with a level of precision and directness that surprises even you. Or you might finally be able to name something to yourself that you have been dancing around for weeks or months. The energy of this card is swift and decisive. Once this clarity comes through, you are not going to be able to unsee it. And honestly, you would not want to. Because what follows this moment of truth is so much better than staying in the fog now. The second card that came through for you is the Knight of Swords. And okay, this is where things start to get really interesting. If the Ace of Swords is the breakthrough of clarity, the Knight of Swords is what you do with that clarity. And Sagittarius, this knight is not playing around. The Knight of Swords is one of the most direct, fast-moving, action-oriented cards in the entire deck. This is the knight who sees the truth and immediately charges forward. There is no hesitation, no second-guessing, no waiting for permission. This knight knows what needs to be done and does it with courage and conviction. For you this weekend, this card is telling me that once that moment of clarity hits with the Ace of Swords, you are not going to sit with it for long. You are going to take action. And not tentative, careful action. Bold, decisive, clear action. This is the energy of finally making a move you have been putting off. Of having a conversation you have been avoiding. Of setting a boundary you have been too afraid to set. Or of walking away from something that is no longer serving you. What I love about this card for you, Sagittarius, is that the Knight of Swords is incredibly brave. This knight does not let fear dictate the pace. This knight sees what is true and necessary and moves forward with confidence, even if it feels uncomfortable. And as a Sagittarius, you have this energy naturally within you. You are a sign that values truth and freedom above all else. You are not someone who likes to stay stuck in situations that feel dishonest or restrictive. But sometimes, even you can get caught in patterns of hesitation. Especially when feelings are involved or when you are trying to avoid conflict. The Knight of Swords is saying that this weekend, that hesitation is going to melt away. You are going to feel this surge of courage and clarity that propels you forward. And it is going to feel so good, Sagittarius. It is going to feel like you are finally acting in alignment with your truth. And that alignment is incredibly liberating. I do want to offer a gentle reminder though, because the Knight of Swords can sometimes be a little too blunt or rushed. This card is encouraging you to be direct and honest, absolutely, but just make sure you are also being mindful of how you communicate. The sword cuts through illusion, but it can also cut people if wielded without care. So as you move forward with this newfound clarity and courage, try to balance that directness with a little bit of compassion and awareness of how your words and actions might land for others. That being said, do not let that slow you down from doing what needs to be done. The Knight of Swords is not about being mean or harsh, but it is about being honest and not sugar-coating reality. And sometimes, Sagittarius, that honesty is the most loving thing you can offer, both to yourself and to others. Sometimes people need to hear the truth, even if it is not what they want to hear. And sometimes you need to speak your truth, even if it disrupts the peace temporarily. This card is also telling me that things might move quickly this weekend. Like, faster than you expected. Once you make a decision or take an action, the momentum is going to build rapidly. Doors might close quickly, or new opportunities might open up swiftly. The Knight of Swords energy does not drag things out. It is efficient and purposeful. So be prepared for rapid shifts and changes, and trust that this speed is actually a good thing. It means you are not getting stuck in analysis paralysis or prolonged discomfort. You are moving through something, and movement is always better than stagnation. Asterisk, I'm also getting the sense that this action you take this weekend is going to surprise some people. Maybe even surprise yourself a little bit. Because when we finally act from a place of total clarity and self-trust, it can feel almost radical compared to how we have been operating. People who are used to you being accommodating or patient might be taken aback by your directness. But that is okay. You are not responsible for managing other people's expectations of you. You are responsible for honoring your own truth and well-being. The Knight of Swords is also connected to intellectual courage. This is not just about physical action, but about mental bravery. The courage to think differently, to question narratives you have been telling yourself, to challenge assumptions, and to trust your own judgment even when it goes against what others believe. This weekend, you might find yourself thinking thoughts that feel revolutionary for you, thoughts that break you free from old patterns or conditioning. And those thoughts are going to fuel the actions you take, okay? So, the third card I pulled for you is the Six of Wands, and I have to say, when this card showed up, I felt this wave of celebration and recognition energy. The Six of Wands is the victory card. This is the card of public acknowledgement, of overcoming challenges, of being seen and celebrated for your efforts and your truth, after the clarity of the Ace of Swords and the courageous action of the Knight of Swords. The Six of Wands is showing me the outcome. And Sagittarius, the outcome is really positive. This card is telling me that when you step into your truth and take aligned action this weekend, you are going to experience a sense of triumph. Not in a boastful or egotistical way, but in a deeply satisfying way. The kind of victory that comes from knowing you did the right thing. Even when it was hard, the Six of Wands often appears when we have overcome some kind of struggle or challenge. And we are finally on the other side of it, feeling stronger and more confident. For you, I think this struggle has been internal. It has been the struggle of confusion versus clarity, the struggle of staying silent versus speaking up, the struggle of staying stuck versus moving forward. And this card is confirming that when you choose clarity, courage, and action, you win. You come out on top, though. What I find really beautiful about this card in your reading is that it is not just about personal victory. The Six of Wands also represents recognition from others. This suggests to me that when you make the moves you are being called to make this weekend, other people are going to notice. They are going to respect you for it. They might even admire your courage and your authenticity. You might receive unexpected support or validation from people who see what you are doing and appreciate it. Now, I know as a Sagittarius, you do not necessarily need external validation to feel good about your choices. You are guided by your own internal compass. But it is still nice to be seen and acknowledged, right? It is nice when the people around you recognize that you are operating from integrity and strength. And the Six of Wands is saying that recognition is coming your way. This card is also telling me that there is going to be a shift in how you see yourself after this weekend. You are going to feel more confident, more self-assured, more proud of who you are and how you handle situations. The Six of Wands elevates your self-perception. It is like you are climbing up onto a higher platform where you can see yourself more clearly and appreciate your own growth and bravery. I am also getting the sense that this victory might involve some kind of closure or completion of a cycle. The Six of Wands often appears when we are wrapping up one chapter and preparing to move into the next. So this weekend might mark the end of a particular struggle or pattern in your life. You are crossing a finish line of sorts. And once you cross it, you are not going back. You are moving forward into new territory with a renewed sense of confidence and purpose. One thing I want to highlight about the Six of Wands is that the figure on the card is riding a horse, elevated above the crowd, holding a wand with a victory wreath. This imagery speaks to leadership and inspiration. Your actions this weekend are not just about you. They might actually inspire other people to step into their own truth and courage. You might become an example for someone else who is struggling with similar issues. Your willingness to be authentic and direct could give someone else permission to do the same. The Six of Wands is also a card of momentum and forward movement. After this weekend, you are going to feel like you are on a roll. Things that felt stuck or stagnant are going to start flowing again. Opportunities that were blocked are going to open up. Relationships that were strained might improve. Or you might attract new people into your life who are more aligned with who you are becoming. This card is really encouraging you to own your success and your growth. Do not downplay what you are accomplishing this weekend. Do not brush off the courage it takes to seek truth and act on it. Celebrate yourself, Sagittarius. You deserve it. You are doing something really important by choosing clarity and freedom over comfort and familiarity. The fourth card that came through is the Chariot. And wow, Sagittarius, this is such a powerful card for you right now. The Chariot is all about determination, willpower, control, and forward momentum. This is the card of someone who knows exactly where they are going and has the discipline and focus to get there. No matter what obstacles appear in their path, coming after the Six of Wands, The Chariot is telling me that this weekend is not just about a single moment of victory or closure. This is about you taking the reins of your life in a much more intentional and empowered way. You are stepping into the driver's seat, Sagittarius. You are deciding the direction of your journey, and you are committing to staying focused on that direction even when distractions or doubts try to pull you off course. The Chariot represents mastery over conflicting forces. In the traditional imagery, there are often two sphinxes or horses pulling the chariot in different directions, and the charioteer must use their will and focus to direct them forward in harmony. This suggests to me that you might be dealing with some internal conflicts or competing desires right now. Part of you might want to stay comfortable and avoid rocking the boat. Another part of you knows that growth requires change and courage. The Chariot is saying that this weekend, you are going to harmonize these conflicting parts of yourself and move forward with unified intention. What I love about the Chariot for you is that it is a card of victory through effort and determination. This is not passive luck or things falling into your lap. This is you actively creating the outcomes you desire through your choices, your discipline, and your commitment to your path. You are not waiting for permission or for circumstances to be perfect. You are making things happen through the force of your will and your clarity of purpose. The Chariot is also connected to the astrological sign of Cancer, which might seem like an interesting contrast to your Sagittarius energy. Cancer is about emotional security and protection, while Sagittarius is about freedom and adventure. But I think this card is reminding you that true freedom actually requires boundaries and self-discipline. You cannot be free if you are constantly being pulled in directions that are not aligned with your truth. The Chariot is about creating the structure and boundaries that allow you to move forward powerfully. This card is also telling me that you have more control over your situation than you might realize. Sometimes we feel like victims of circumstance, or like we are at the mercy of other people's choices and behaviors. But the Chariot is saying no, you have agency here. You can choose how you respond. You can choose what you accept and what you do not accept. You can choose to stay or to go. You can choose to speak or to remain silent. And this weekend, you are going to feel that sense of agency very strongly. I am also getting the sense that the Chariot is about momentum and not looking back. Once you get this Chariot moving in the right direction, you're not going to want to stop or reverse course. You are going to feel so good about the progress you are making that turning back will not even be an option you consider. This is the energy of commitment and follow-through. You are not just dipping your toe into change. You are diving in fully and moving forward with conviction. The Chariot can also represent a journey. And for you, Sagittarius, I think this is both a literal and metaphorical journey. You might feel called to physically move or travel soon, or you might be embarking on an internal journey of self-discovery and transformation. Either way, you are in motion. You are not staying in one place anymore. You are actively pursuing something better, something more aligned, something more true. One thing to be mindful of with the Chariot energy is that it can sometimes be a bit rigid or controlling if taken to an extreme. The Chariot is so focused on the destination that it can sometimes forget to enjoy the journey or be flexible when things do not go exactly as planned. So as you move forward with this determined energy this weekend, try to also maintain some of that Sagittarius flexibility and optimism. Trust that even if the path looks a little different than you expected, you are still heading in the right direction. The fifth card I pulled is the Queen of Pentacles. And this card brings in such a grounded, nurturing, abundant energy that honestly feels like a breath of fresh air after all that intense forward movement. The Queen of Pentacles is the queen of the material world, of practical wisdom, of creating security and comfort through resourcefulness and care. For you this weekend, Sagittarius, I think this card is reminding you to stay grounded as you move through all of these changes and revelations. The Queen of Pentacles is saying yes, pursue your truth and your freedom, absolutely. But also make sure you are taking care of your physical needs and your practical responsibilities. Do not get so caught up in the mental and emotional breakthroughs that you forget to eat well, rest properly, and tend to the practical details of your life. The Queen of Pentacles is also about self-sufficiency and abundance. This card is telling me that as you step into this new chapter of clarity and freedom, you are also going to feel more secure in your ability to take care of yourself. You are not dependent on anyone else for your stability or your sense of security. You have everything you need within yourself and within your own capabilities. This is really important for you right now, Sagittarius. Because I think part of the closure you are experiencing this week and might involve releasing some kind of dependency or attachment. Maybe you have been relying on someone else for validation or support in ways that were not healthy or sustainable. Maybe you have been staying in a situation because you were afraid you could not make it on your own. The Queen of Pentacles is saying that you absolutely can make it on your own. In fact, you are going to thrive on your own. The Queen of Pentacles is also deeply connected to nature and to the body. This card is encouraging you to spend some time in nature this week, and if you can, go for a walk, sit in a park, put your bare feet on the earth. Ground yourself in the physical world. This will help you process all of the mental and emotional shifts you are experiencing and will help you feel more stable and centered as you move forward. I am also getting the sense that the Queen of Pentacles is about practical abundance and creating a life that feels good on all levels, not just spiritually or emotionally, but physically and materially as well. This week and might be a good time to think about what kind of physical environment and lifestyle you want to create for yourself moving forward. What does abundance look like for you? What makes you feel comfortable and secure? How can you create more of that in your life? This card is also telling me that you are going to feel more generous and nurturing toward yourself after this weekend. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who takes excellent care of herself, not in a selfish way, but in a wise and sustainable way. She knows that in order to give to others and show up fully in the world, she needs to make sure her own cup is full first. So this is your reminder, Sagittarius, to be kind to yourself as you navigate these changes. Treat yourself well. Give yourself the comfort and care you deserve. The sixth and final card I pulled for you is the Seven of Cups. And this card is really interesting in this position because it is the card of choices, dreams, illusions, and possibilities. The Seven of Cups shows a figure looking at 7 cups, each filled with a different image representing different desires or paths. This is the card of having many options and needing to discern which one is real and which one is illusion for you this weekend. Sagittarius, I think the Seven of Cups is appearing as both a warning and an opportunity. After all of the clarity and forward movement represented by the earlier cards, the Seven of Cups is saying that you might be presented with multiple possibilities or paths forward, and not all of them are going to be what they seem. This card is reminding you to use that Ace of Swords clarity to cut through any new illusions or fantasies that might try to distract you from your truth. After you experience closure and freedom, it is natural for new opportunities and options to appear. But not every shiny new possibility is actually aligned with your highest good. Some of them might be tempting distractions. Some of them might be old patterns dressed up in new packaging. The Seven of Cups is encouraging you to be discerning as you move forward. Just because something looks appealing does not mean it is right for you. Just because someone offers you something does not mean you need to accept it. You have the clarity and the wisdom now to see through illusions and to make choices that are based on reality rather than fantasy. At the same time, the Seven of Cups is also a card of incredible creative potential and imagination. After the closure and liberation you experience this weekend, you are going to have so many possibilities available to you. The world is going to feel wide open in a way it has not felt in a long time. You are going to see potential and opportunity everywhere you look. And that is beautiful, Sagittarius. That is the gift of freedom. When you are no longer weighed down by confusion or stuck in situations that do not serve you. Suddenly everything feels possible again. The key with this card is to stay grounded in that Queen of Pentacles energy while you explore these possibilities. Dream big, absolutely, but also stay practical. Consider which options are actually feasible and sustainable. Think about which paths align with your values and your truth. Not just which ones seem exciting in the moment. The Seven of Cups can also represent a need to clarify your desires and priorities. You might realize this week and that you want different things than you thought you wanted. The closure you experience might shift your perspective on what actually matters to you and what you truly desire moving forward. That is completely okay. Allow yourself to dream new dreams and to want new things. You are not bound by old desires or old visions of your future. You get to choose what you want now, based on who you are now. So Sagittarius, let me bring this all together for you. This weekend is bringing you a powerful combination of clarity, courage, victory, determination, groundedness, and new possibilities. You are closing a chapter that needed to close, even if you did not fully realize it until now. And that closure is opening up a doorway to so much freedom and potential. The cards are really encouraging you to trust yourself through this process. Trust the clarity that comes through. Trust your courage to take action. Trust that you are capable of creating the life you truly want. And trust that this moment of closure, even if it feels bittersweet or uncomfortable, is actually a profound gift. You are being liberated from something that has been holding you back, Sagittarius. And on the other side of that liberation is a version of yourself that feels more authentic, more empowered, and more free than you have felt in a long time. Thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to connect with your energy today. I hope this reading brought you some insight or confirmation about what you are moving through. If it resonated, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you. And remember, you are so much stronger and more capable than you sometimes give yourself credit for. This weekend is proof of that. Sending you so much love and light as you move through this powerful time. Talk to you soon.